8 keys to loving your body. Key number 7, stages of womanhood. Hello, lovelies. It's Tiina here from Own, Kind of Wonderful, helping you reclaim who you truly are. So key number 7 now, looking at stages of womanhood and different stages of womanhood. Sometimes I think that we forget that a changing body is very natural. It's what's supposed to happen, but very often we resist it. We don't want it. And especially when we get to our mid-30s, 40s, 50s, there's a big resistance because, of course, when we talked about the desirability of a woman, you know, it's in a certain age range. So older women want to get younger and younger girls want to be older to be in that desirable range. And, of course, when we get older, the way that we are represented in media, let's look 10, 20 years back, we didn't even exist past the age of 40. That's changing a little bit now. There's a trend coming in with even older models. You know, we got women with grey hair and, you know, in some advertising campaigns, and women over the age of 50, 60 who are in advertising campaigns, which was very unusual before. But there we have this resistance for getting older, and you know, maybe biologically we look at it as going, well, you can't bear any children anymore, what's the use of you? But we can look at different cultures, like Asian cultures, where being an older person, it's viewed very, very differently. You know, there's an honoring of that. There's a great honor in being older, and there's a wisdom perspective that maybe in Western cultures that we're not doing in the same way. You know, again, maybe because our focus is on something else of what is our purpose here. What is the purpose of being a woman? What is the purpose of having a female body? Maybe it's viewed a little bit differently. What do I know? I haven't researched that bit in particular. But when we go from children, you know, girls to teenagers, there's of course an acceptance of that body. From us adults, of body changing, it might be more difficult for the girls where that change happens. You know, some girls will embrace that change and some girls will hate it. They don't want the boobs, they don't want that change, they don't want the bigger hips, you know. And very often some teenage girls might get a little bit plumper, you know, for a little while because the body is changing and the length doesn't kind of match the other things happening in the body. And hormones, of course, are raging, you know, like interesting teenage years of the mood swings. And of course, it's part and parcel of that change that's happening. Then after that change, we're not so keen on change anymore. Then when we get into our 20s, that's how many of us want to stay. Possibly not emotionally and mentally. Many of us are quite happy when we get into our 40s and there's a change of, actually I'm more comfortable with myself. But the body, we want to have the mind and the emotions of the 40-year-old, but we very often want the body of a 20-year-old. Because again, you know, I've got more wrinkles now, you know, my skin is changing, my body is changing again. What does this mean? You know, and if you're single, it's like, wow, you know, past the age of 45, 50, you know, there's no way of finding love because who wants this? And it's buying into that age hate, really. You know, if I'm over a certain age, then I'm gone. There's no usefulness to me anymore. And it's, of course, up to us if we buy into that or not. Totally. Book recommendation, The Ecstasy of Surrender by Judith Orloff. It is about surrender. It's about surrendering in 12 areas, or 12 surprising ways, she calls it, of surrendering, and actually absolutely embracing and enjoying life. Now, of course, that whole book is not about you know, the different stages of womanhood and acceptance of those changes of womanhood. But there's a chapter called Experiencing Radiant Aging, The Secret of Slowing Down Time. And this is a really beautiful chapter, and I would really recommend anyone who is caught in the grip of fearing that aging, and who realizes, oh shit, I'm buying into that stuff. I don't want to buy into it. I think aging is beautiful and it's natural, and I want to age in a good way. Then I would absolutely recommend that to you. I'm sure I'll put a link to Judith Orloff up here somewhere. And of course, below you will find a link to buy this book if you're interested in it. I would thoroughly recommend it. I have it as an audio and as a as a book because I've loved it so much. She says, our society has an aging phobia. If you buy into this, and it's all too easy to do, of course, absolutely, your optimism about aging may not be no match for the onslaught of fear-based stereotypes dictating that you can't do this or look like that. Listen to this now. Truth is, worrying about aging only makes you age faster. If you see yourself as old, then you will be. In fact, research has linked negative perceptions of aging to people with a lifespan that's 7 years shorter. I remember that even at 40, people began to use annoying phrases with me, such as "at your age," and "soon you'll lose your sexual energy," or "oh, you're almost over the hill." And I know those messages come hard and fast when we've gone over the age of 40. And it's like, well, that's got nothing to do with me. That's all about you who's saying it. Like, I'm not feeling that. Are you? So really an acceptance of where we are in life. And that also plays into that body love, of course. You know, when we are 60, we shouldn't expect to look like 18. We're not supposed to look like 18 at 60. There's supposed to be happening a change. And that doesn't mean that at 60 you should be all aches and pains and feel old. No, you know, take care of your body, love your body, listen into what your body needs, and you will feel radiant and you will love life, you know. But don't expect your body to be something that it's not supposed to be. And the same thing after childbirth. It's like, well, I have to be thin straight away. Why? You've just gone through this most amazing process. You've created and grown a child in your body. Can you imagine? I mean, that's just so amazing. Like, there's a little human growing inside our bodies, developing all on its own and coming out as a little human. And then we go, oh, within 2 weeks, I want to be the same kind of body I had before I got pregnant. Why? You've just gone through this process. Like, embrace that process. There is time to lose that baby weight, but that's probably not your biggest concern at that moment, you know, unless your doctor says, you know, there's a risk for your life. But, you know, just those changes, you know, like, embrace them and kind of go, yeah, I am 40 plus now, or yeah, I'm 50 plus now, or oh yes, I'm 18 and my body is changing, or I'm 13 and my body is changing, I'm 8 and suddenly something is starting to happen. That is very normal and very natural. And as well, when we're adults, you know, can we allow our children to be children? You know, further and further down the ages, you know, we've got 7-year-olds who think that they should be 15. And, you know, oh no, I don't play anymore. We don't play. So why not? Like, this is the time to do it before all the responsibility of all kinds hits you. There are children in the world who would give anything to be able to play just for a little while. And instead they're stuck in factories, sewing clothes or something even more terrible than that. You know, who would give anything to be a child and play for a while. Let's encourage that in our children. Let's let them be children. And then when their body change happens, let's be there for them, because it might be tough. And as well as being there for us ourselves and understand, okay, change is happening now. and it's okay. What do I do with that change, and how do I have joy in that change instead of resisting it and pushing it away? So next time, it's the last key number 8 in this series, and we're really looking at how to love your body. And everything that we've talked about has been leading to that, even though sometimes it might not have seemed like that. It's all been leading to that. It's all about loving your body. But before we get there, it's good to have an understanding both of the external setting that we have, and also the internal setting, which is why I've asked you all these questions and asked you to explore various things. See you in the next episode. Bye now.